This isn't easy. You know, you see 5 guns here, you saw 9 the previous. It's good police work, targeting those folks that have a propensity to use guns in our city. So kudos to the Providence Police, and particularly the Uniform Division and the task force folks that are strategically placed in areas of our city, knowing that we've had an uptick in shootings and violence. So, you know, I can't underscore enough how important this focus is and the results. You know, the data is the data. We're pleased with the data. Too many people are getting shot, too many guns in the street. We're not gonna solve it by, you know, taking all the guns off the street. It's just impossible. But taking them out of the hands of people that have the propensity to shoot other people is what we're laser focused on, and the results are showing. And we're gonna continue, because again, that can change real quickly, but it's not for the lack of effort and the strategy of this police department, along with our partners. As the mayor says, ATF is a part of a group as well, and Pawtucket Police and Seminole Falls and the Rhode Island Department of Attorney General, doing some work on violence and targeting those folks that we know have a propensity to shoot other people for varying reasons. So without further, let me just ask the Colonel, Hugh Clements, our Chief of the Providence Police, who leads this, and he and I talk more than the mayor and I every single day about what our strategy is, and he's the pro, and he has put some of these strategies together based on not only experience, but what's happening nationally and what's been effective. So Colonel Hugh Clements.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you all for covering. It's all true what the mayor said, what the commissioner said. I mean, this is tough work we do in the community. It's we're data-driven, we're surgical in our approach. We try to be an intelligence-led police department. We try to look at data in a very granular way. And I commend the major in charge of the investigative division. Every single day, we talk several times a day. Major Perez is here as well. He's done this a long time. It's really challenging work that we have in this community, and we're not spiking the football, but every single one of these incidents affects communities, affects neighborhoods, affects public housing developments, and we work very closely with our community partners. So we are data-driven. We look at stats all the time. We set strategy every single day, every single week, and we direct our resources, monetary and workforce resources, to our greatest need at the moment. And that could change on the fly. That could change at 11 a.m. this morning. That's the field that we are in, the professional field that we are in. So I cannot commend the men and women of the Providence Police Department enough for the hard work in taking this dangerous weaponry off the street every single day. Over the weekend, 5. We saw a couple weeks ago, we had a press conference here, in one 8-hour shift, there were 9 guns taken off the street. A week and a half ago, in one car stop, 4 guns taken out of one vehicle. Dangerous, dangerous individuals. One of them was wanted for homicide in New York City in the borough of Brooklyn. They had ski masks. They had 4 high-powered weapons. I believe 1 or 2 of them had high-capacity magazines, extended clips. They were here to do something. So without question, the Providence Police saved a life or lives with that car stop and with that seizure and with those arrests. Over the weekend, same thing. At the tail end of an event on the east side of Providence, India Point Bridge, one of our alert patrol officers, Darren Hull, sees something amiss, sees something suspicious, goes over and confronts the young man, and eventually makes an arrest, a difficult arrest, using force. And what he saw was accurate. He saw a young man possessing a firearm, and there were shots fired earlier, so he certainly averted more violence with the arrest of that individual and the seizure of that firearm. So year to date, last year we had a banner year in seizing firearms and making arrests of individuals illegally possessing firearms. Last year, the total number was 210. And this year, we're ahead of pace. We're at 134. So one thing we've seen a rise of is the proliferation of firearms, as the mayor indicated, in our community, and firearms that are menacing. Many have high-capacity magazines. We also are seeing an increase in the last 2 years. It continues this year in ghost guns. Ghost guns are personally made firearms. 80%, they come 80% made, and then people are putting them together in the privacy of their homes. They're dangerous in that they are not traceable. They do not have a serial number. I think legislatively that's something we can work on and do a better job of. That is extremely dangerous. So in the last couple of weeks, there have been 26 gun arrests, and 12 of those were had high-capacity magazines. 9 of those arrests were made by the Violent Crime Task Force. I commend the members of the Violent Crime Task Force under the direction of the Investigative Division. However, the Patrol Bureau has been doing unbelievable work, not only in car stops, not only in calls for service. These arrests and seizures come in varying forms and fashions. Some are car stops, some are narcotics raids, some are alert police work, like Darren Hull just sees something amiss. And it's incredible, experienced police work done in a safe way. You look at some of these arrests and you break them down, they're really dangerous situations. And with the grace of God, they've gone well the last several years. I want to thank not only good police work with Patrol, Violent Crime Task Force, narcotics, detectives, but our partners in the community, specifically surrounding gun violence, the Nonviolence Institute, many of the events we have in this city where voices are heard from leaders in this community to tamp down the rhetoric of anger and violence. We did one last weekend with Diana Garlington, Lock Arms for Peace. We do many events with the Nonviolence Institute. These are important voices to be heard in the community, and it's part of our comprehensive, holistic attack on violence, in particular gun violence in this city. As the Commissioner states, we're laser focused on gun violence, and we've done an excellent job, but that could change tonight, and we recognize that. It's constant. Providence has a lot of challenges. We have a nightlife, a huge nightclub activity. We have a lot of challenging issues, but the mayor wanted to do this, and I think it's important to recognize the good work by the women and men of the Providence Police in keeping this community safe. That is our mission, is to reduce crime, fear, and disorder, and there are several incidents where that doesn't happen. But the data is the data, and it's accurate, and you can see it's always important, I say, to look at data in 3, 5, and 10-year spans. And you look at some of the data surrounding some of the other nonviolent type crimes, in particular burglaries. That's incredible work, and that's with strategy, and that's with directing our resources towards that type of activity and targeting those small number of individuals who are creating the biggest headaches for us in that particular area, whether it's burglaries, whether it's gun violence. It's a small number of offenders who truly drive those numbers. So that's where our strategy comes in, where we try to target those particular individuals, and all of that is led on information and intelligence. So really good work. We work very closely with our ATF partners, and they have some new technology in a NIBINS machine. They've had one for years. We've worked with the crime lab down at URI, but now through a federal grant, the Rhode Island Attorney General now has that NIBINS machine. Providence Police Department will have 2 investigators trained with access to that machine on a given notice. This is really going to help us to get more timely and accurate information. We'll be able to take maybe another story down the line. We'll be able to take shell casings or one of these firearms on a 10-minute notice and drive it down to the crime lab, put it into the machine, and see if there's any matches on that firearm, on the ballistics found on scene. That timely, accurate information is important because when we match it up to other recent events, we're able to quickly, through our intelligence and information, say, we know where this came from. And more importantly, we think we know where the next incident may occur, with what group, in what neighborhood. So all of it is data-driven, strategy-driven, great work by the not only the women and men of the Providence Police Department, but our partners as well in everything we do. Thank you.